Sabi ko, kung ako'y makakabuo at palarin, at ako ay bigyan ng mandato ng higit na maraming sambayanang Pilipino, at ako'y madala sa Senado bilang senador ninyo, if I can build enough alliances, I will move for this scrapping of resolution number 10 that permits, allows, and legalizes liquidation by mere certification. Ang aking desisyong pagtakbo ay dahil kinakatawan ko yung nararamdaman ng higit na nakararaming Pilipino na pagod na sa issue ng talamak na korupsyon at higit pang talamak na korupsyon na dapat nating labanan. Ito ang bagong anyo. Nung sinabi na ng Korte Suprema na illegal at matagal lang isinuka ng sambayan ng Pilipino, yung DAP, yung PDAF, yung pork barrel, wala na yan, bawal yan, illegal yan. Subalit, na-introduce na naman ngayon under this present administration, under the Marcos administration, in the form of program appropriation. Kaya siguro ganyan din ang nangyayari, Tristan, na napipilitan silang galawin pati yung PhilHealth funds na 89.9 billion sapagkat wala na silang perang pagkuhaan para pondohan yung pork barrel ng mga legislators.
Okay, Attorney Vic, simulan po natin siguro, no? You filed your COC last week. Ano po ang nagtulak sa inyo na tumakbo sa pagkasenador?
I have been, as you have mentioned in the opening of your program, I have been active with the Hakbang ng Maisog. It's a social movement that calls for transparency, accountability, peace, and security in governance. And because of these advocacies, nakaikot kami sa malaking bahagi ng ating bansa. At hindi lang yun, nakausap din natin ng iba't ibang overseas Filipino workers and migrants in different parts of the country. At sabi ko nga nung aking filing, tumugon ako sa kanilang pakiusap na kumandidato bilang senador at tinumugon din ako sa hamon ng hakbang na maisog na pamunuan ang tunay na oposisyon. And these are the reasons why I have decided to file my certificate of candidacy at tumugon sa hamon na maging senatorial candidate.
Okay, what exactly do this social movement want from you? I mean, ano po yung gusto nilang tugunan nyo sakaling manalo kayo sa pagkasenador?
Pamunuan natin yung ating hinihiling na transparency, accountability, peace, and security. As you know, Tristan, hindi lumalabas yung mga tunay na usapin na sadya sanang dapat pag-usapan sa ating mga pahayagan, sa mga traditional media, sa mainstream media. Lumalabas lang ito sa social media vlogs and programs kagaya ng iyong platform. Ito nga yung issue ng korupsyon at higit pang maraming korupsyon, which lahat tayong Pilipino dapat magkasundo. Ito ang pangunahing issue na dapat tugunan ng administrasyon, lalo pa dito sa nalalapit na midterm election. Saan ba ginagastos, saan napupunta ang pera nating mga Pilipino? And as you know, talaga namang kulang tayo sa pondo, nangungutang tayo, and yet, yung perang inuutang natin, babayaran natin lahat yan, Tristan. Babayaran natin yan, even the future generation, the generation yet to come. Hindi pa pinapanganak, may utang na. Okay lang, kung tayo nangungutang, kung gagamitin sana para umunlad ang ating ekonomiya. Subalit ginagamit yung utang, para patabain yung bulsa at bank account ng mga tiwaling mga tao dyan sa pamahalaan.
Alright, just an observation or halimbawa po, sir, no, this could be an argument from the other side of the spectrum, of the political spectrum, because sasabihin nila, if you want to fight corruption, Attorney Vic, bakit po, let's say in the Duterte family, Vice President Sara Duterte is being parang drag dito sa controversy naman po ng confidential funds, which for some ay nagkaroon ng misuse of funds. So how would you reconcile these two issues that you want to fight, which is yung kasama nyo po yung mga Duterte allied supporters, and then meron din pong issue na ibinabato kay VP Sara?
Alam mo, Tristan, walang conflict sa aking advokasya at advokasya ng Hakbang na Maisog na humihingi ng war on corruption. At wala ring conflict na ako ay kasama ni Pangulong Duterte sa advokasiyang ito. Sapagkat yung sinasabi mo na allegation, accusation, being dragged or getting dragged into the issue of corruption or misuse of funds, these are all accusation. Wala namang kasong isinasampa laban kay Pangulong Duterte o laban kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Accusation is not proof and accusation is not equivalent to guilt. You have to establish first your evidence, file the appropriate case or cases in the appropriate court or venue, and let the acts fall where it may. And I think I share the same view as that of President Duterte. Ang sinasabi nga niya, kung may kaso sila laban sa kanya, di isampa. Hindi pwede yung allegation lamang. And again, allegation is not equivalent to a proof.
Alright. But Attorney Vic, I want to go first sa inyo muna po, yung sa inyong pagtakbo. Why run as independent?
I think, number one, yung sinabi ko rin sa aking pag-file ng aking kandidatura ay ang malinaw sa akin na yung pag-file ko ng independent, sumasagisag ito na ang aking tanging partido ay ang Republika ng Pilipinas at ang aking mga kaalyado ay kayo, sama ka, Tristan, ang mga mamamayang Pilipino.
And your candidacy for senator is supported or backed by former President Rodrigo Duterte. I'm asking that because nag-post po ata kayo sa Facebook nyo ng picture with PRRD. So, ito po ba ay nagsisignify na suportado niya? Nakausap nyo po ba siya tingil sa pagtakbo nyo sa pagkasenador?
Oo, very, very helpful naman sa pagbuo ko ng desisyon si Pangulong Duterte at in fact, he was encouraging me early on. Pero sabi ko nga, pag-isipan ho natin, Mr. President, dahil masanay akong nasa likod lamang, Tristan. But kagaya nga ng sinabi ko, yung mga kababayan natin, I cannot be oblivious to the call of our, to the call, to the plea, to the request of our overseas Filipino workers and to the many Filipinos here na nakaharap namin sa pag-ikot ng hakbang na may isod. At ang sinisigaw nga ay atin ng sama-samang labanan. Ang korupsyon, kaya nga tinanong din ako nung ako'y nag-file ng aking kandidatura, sabi ko kung ako'y makakabuo at pala rin, at ako ay bigyan ng mandato ng higit na maraming sambayanang Pilipino at ako'y madala sa Senado bilang senador ninyo, if I can build enough alliances, I will move for this scrapping of resolution number 10 that permits, allows, and legalizes liquidation by mere certification.
How about yung PDP laban, sir? If ever mag-accommodate sila ng guest candidate, would you be willing to join their slate?
If I will be invited as an adopted candidate or guest candidate, I'm open to it, especially with PDP. Yun na lang naman ang isang partido na nakakabuo pa ng, I think, 6 yata ang kandidato nila. So I'm open to being adopted or invited as a guest candidate by any party.
But so far, wala pa pong nag-offer sa inyo from the PDP side to be part as guest candidate?
Wala pa namang ganung pag-uusap sapagkat as you know, last week lang naman yung filing. I filed mine last Tuesday, October 8, and it's only Monday today. And so many things have already happened between last Tuesday and yesterday. So things are moving a lot quicker and faster now. And maybe in time, if not just PDP, any other party who will be willing to adopt me for as long as aligned yung aming advocacy at prinsipyo, I am open to being an adopted or guest candidate.
Attorney Vic, of course, pag nabanggit yung pangalang Attorney Vic Rodriguez, it cannot be, parang hindi po natin matatanggal sa isip din ng publiko na naging mahalaga yung naging papel nyo nung time ni President Bongbong Marcos and then candidate Bongbong Marcos. So in this decision of yours to run for senator, nagkausap po ba kayo ni Pangulong Marcos pagdating dito sa plano nyo?
Matagal na kaming hindi nakakapag-usap na ni Pangulong Marcos. Ang huling usapan namin, as I have intimated during the filing of my candidacy when asked by a reporter, noong September of 2022 pa. And ito namang aking pagkandidato, I don't need the blessing or approval or I don't need to seek permission from anyone, not from any politician, not from any political party, not from any oligarch. Ang aking desisyong pagtakbo ay dahil kinakatawan ko yung nararamdaman nung higit na nakararaming Pilipino na pagod na sa issue ng talamak na korupsyon at higit pang talamak na korupsyon na dapat nating labanan.
But at some point, Attorney Vic, baka po ang sabihin din ng iba, naging parte rin po kayo ng administrasyong ito. If ang sinasabi po natin ay lumala yung corruption, at least at some point in a number of months, naging part din po kayo ng administration. So would you say na nagsisisi kayo na sinuportahan nyo si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos during his campaign and eventually that led to his presidency?
I did my best to shape during the initial phase of his administration to shape our direction towards good governance and to combat corruption. And nandyan yung mga sinimulan natin sa pagiging mahigpit doon sa mga rinerekomenda ng kung sino-sinong vested groups pagdating sa appointments. At nandyan din yung ating paglaban doon sa unang-unang sugar order number 3, pinahanap ko. Ako ang nagpahanap at nagpahuli ng lahat ng mga illegally impounded or hoarded sugar. Kaya artificial yung pagtaas ng presyo ng asukal ng mga panahon na yun. And these are just manifestation na ang aking direksyon talaga ay towards good governance at labanan ang basawata, ang korupsyon to at least its barest minimum na posible. You know, Tristan, hindi mo pwedeng mabura ang korupsyon sa kahit anong administrasyon at sa kahit anong gobyerno saan mang panig ng mundo. Pero wag naman nating palalain pagka during the termino ng isang pangulo na aking natulungan and all other succeeding administration. Corruption is everybody's business. Ito ang bagong anyo. Nung sinabi na ng Korte Suprema na illegal at matagal nang isinuka ng sambayan ng Pilipino, yung DAP, yung PDAF, yung pork barrel, wala na yan, bawal yan, illegal yan. Subalit, na-introduce na naman ngayon under this present administration, under the Marcos administration, in the form of program appropriation. Kaya siguro ganyan din ang nangyayari, Tristan, na napipilitan silang galawin pati yung PhilHealth funds na 89.9 billion sapagkat wala na silang perang pagkuhaan para pondohan yung pork barrel ng mga legislators. And we have to have fiscal discipline, Tristan. At mahirap yan fiscal discipline na yan dahil ang very basic parang home economics yan, Tristan. Tinuro sa atin ng ating mga magulang mula pa pagkabata. Pagka maiksi ang kumot, matuto tayong mamaluktot. Subalit in this present administration, wala yatang ganung pananaw. Sige-sige lang ang paggastos gamit yung mga as their vehicle, yung unprogrammed appropriation. Ito yung bagong anyo ng pork barrel. Nauulitin ko ay matagal nang diniklara ng Korte Suprema na unconstitutional at illegal.
Sir, would you say na baka may nagsasabi rin kaya rin po kayo tumatakbo is because yung nangyari po sa inyo with the Marcos administration, hindi naman po ito dahil you want to I lack for the better term, but revenge or parang, you know, you want to get back to the Marcos admin. Hindi po ito yung dahilan ng pagtakbo nyo, but because of your consultation with the people on the ground. Tama po ba?
Absolutely, hindi yan ang dahilan, Tristan. And the friends in Hakbang ng Maisog, the social movement, alam nila ito for a fact that I have come to a decision to run and accept their challenge only last Saturday yun October 5. Doon lang ako nakapag-desisyon at October 8 ay aking ifinail ang aking candidacy. And for revenge, wala akong revenge.
Hindi po
para sa mamamayang Pilipino, labanan natin corruption. Because it affects you. It affects me. It affects the youth of today. It affects our children. And it affects the generations that are yet to come. As we speak now, ang ating national debt is around 15.69 trillion pesos. Ang equivalent niyan in terms of in relation to our population, lahat tayo mga kababayan, kailangan malaman ninyo ito. Lahat tayo may pagkakautang na 138,000 pesos more or less. Lahat ng Pilipino, mayaman, middle class, mahirap, may utang ho tayo pare-pareho. Kaya wag natin palagpasin itong issue kung paano pinulustay ng mga nasa pamahalaan ang pera nating mga Pilipino.
Attorney Vic, you mentioned earlier in this interview that you want to at least lead the true opposition. Siguro po, help us understand how do you plan to do it and what exactly is a true opposition?
True opposition is one that brings out and ventilates before the public the real issues, the ugly ones that the administration keep on suppressing. Ano yan? Babalik tayo sa issue ng korupsyon. As of for 2024, our budget is 5.75 trillion pesos. Halos kalahati niyan, Tristan, ay utang. Meaning, utang natin mula sa panlabas na financing or dito sa domestic na financing. Utang yan, pero babayaran natin yan. And yet, what do we see? 800 billion, more or less. Some are saying as high as it can go as high as 1.2 trillion, ay naka-allocate para sa kanilang pork barrel or yung congressional pork barrel funds ng mga legislators. Babayaran natin yan. Yung perang inutang ng gobyerno, hinulustay ng mga nasa pamahalaan. And yet, babayaran natin mga Pilipino. Kahit ayaw natin doon sa polisiya o patakaran na kanilang tinatahak. Ito yung mga bagay na dapat nating ilabas. At hindi lamang yan, itong darating na taon, 2025, inangat pa nila yung ating budget to 6.35 trillion pesos. Again, BIR already said, shortfall na naman sila sa collection. At pagka shortfall na naman sa collection, mangungutang na naman tayo. Okay lang mangutang ang isang bansa, Tristan. Basta yung pangungutang na yan, gagamitin mo para palawigin at palawakin at paunlarin ang ating ekonomiya. Pero kung utang tayo ng utang para lang sustentuhan ang kapritso at bisyo ng mga nasa pamahalaan, hindi tayo dapat pumayag dahil pera natin yan, hindi nila pera yan. Pinambibili lang ng mga Hermes bag, pinambibili lang ng mga mamahaling relo. And yet, hinahanap natin, nasaan yung 400 billion or 500 billion pesos more or less? 2 taon pa lang sila, Tristan. Asaan yung 500 billion pesos more or less na sinabing binuhos nila sa 5,500 flood control programs? Bakit tayo'y binabaha pa rin Umulan lang ng kaunti, kahit walang bagyo tayo'y binabaha. Pera natin yan, nakakapagod na at hindi tayo dapat pumayag sapagkat hindi yan ang standard of living nating mga Pilipino. We deserve more.
Okay. What exactly or what measure will you file to fight corruption? Because the topic of corruption, paulit-ulit na lang din to, sir, pinag-uusapan. Ilang taon na rin po, dekada-dekada na po tinatanong to sa mga kandidato and eventually naging leader. And yet, sabi nyo nga po, hindi talaga maaalis yung problema ng corruption sa kahit kaninong administrasyon. So, if you were given a chance to win a Senate seat, how exactly will you address corruption in terms of legislation?
Number one, ibasura natin yung resolution number 10, yung nagpapahintulot ng liquidation by mere certification. Yung liquidation by mere certification, that is not in accord with the proper accounting procedure laid out by the Commission on Audit. Ito, wala nang detalye, basta sinabi lang itong halagang to ginastos sa ganitong event, wala nang detalye, wala nang resibo, pipirmahan lang ng head of office, tatanggapin na ng Commission on Audit. Hindi tayo dapat pumayag dyan, sapagkat hindi naman pera yan ng mga mambabatas. Pera yan natin ng sambayan ng Pilipino. And second, we have enough anti-graft and corrupt practices law in place. What we need to do is to somehow reinstill yung proper check and balance between the executive and the legislative. Kinakailangan meron pa ring vanguards, pero kinakailangan may nagbabantay pa rin sa pera ng ating sa kaba ng ating bayan. Tingnan mo na lang yung ginagawa nilang ayuda, pamimigay ng ayuda. Ang ayuda is a stopgap measure. Ginagamit lang yan pag may sakuna, may disaster, may trahedya, pero that cannot be an economic policy, or that should not be transformed into an economic policy because it is not sustainable and it is not viable. That is not what we envision yung sinasabi nating a viable economic activity. Hindi ayuda ang sagot sa problema ng ating bansa. Ang ayuda, kinukurap mo lang yung mga mahihirap nating kababayan at ang ayuda is purposely meant only to advance their political interest and further political aggrandizement.
Okay. Pero sir, yung ginagawang mga pagdinig ng House regarding sa mga questions sa budget, ang pinaka-tumatakbo sa publiko ngayon is the confidential funds and intelligence funds. Ito po ba ay suportado nyo rin as part of checks and balances between the executive and the legislative?
Walang check and balance between the executive and legislative. Nagiging targeted yung kanilang approach, nagiging selective sila. Yung sinasabing confidential and intelligence fund ng Office of the Vice President, sinabi naman ng COA na in order lahat ng liquidation ng Office of the Vice President. And should there be any notice of these allowances, binibigyan ng Office of the Vice President until February, I believe, of 2025, of next year pa. So lahat ng investigasyon ginagawa nila, premature. Paano kung makapagsumite ng mga documentation ng Office of the Vice President within that period given them by the Commission on Audit, which is until February or January of 2025 of next year? Eh di wala lahat yung investigasyon na ginagawa. Second, bakit yung pondo lang ng OVP? Bakit hindi nila buksan yung pondo mismo ng House of Representatives? Kung paano nila ginagamit ang pondo nila at inaabuso. Yun nga, yung liquidation by mere certification. Bakit hindi buksan ang libro ng kada senador at pakita rin saan ginamit yung mga budget nila at inaabuso, tinatago rin doon sa kilalang resolution number 10, yung liquidation by certification. Kinakailangan parehas. Kung iimbestigahan mo yung mga perceived graft practices, yung alleged graft practices of the past administration ni administrasyon ni Pangulong Duterte, kinakailangan actively and objectively ay pinopursue mo rin ang investigation dito sa current administration. Take for example, yung allegation ng isang congressman na agricultural smuggling. Hanggang ngayon, nakatiwangwang yun. Wala na tayong narinig. Nagsimula ng 2023, magte-2025 na, hindi na pinag-usapan sapagkat may nabanggit na mga malalapit na tao, na mga tao na malalapit sa Malacanang. Yan ang dapat nating tingnan. Hindi balanse, hindi objective, hindi patas yung ginagawang investigation.
Okay. Attorney Vic, down to my last two questions na lang, but I want to get your insight on this because last week, si President Marcos, he said na he was dismayed with the statement of VP Sara na they were not friends. And you were there nung time na nagkakampanya, nung nagsisimula yung unity, nung inulunsad. Ano po yung napansin, do you believe na never po ba talaga sila naging magkaibigan or nagkaroon na lang po talaga ng falling out towards ilang months after this administration ay nagsimula na?
I cannot speak for Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. But from my observation, tao, alam mo Tristan, ang kaibigan, pinoprotektahan. ang isang taong kinikilala mong kaibigan. Ang kaibigan ay hindi mo dapat sinasaktan o sinasaksak sa likod. Kung nakikita mong ginaganyan ang iyong kaibigan, siguro naman ay pwede mong kausapin yung iba mo ring kaibigan na teka muna, hindi yata tama yung ginagawa nyo sa aking kaibigan at sa aking alyado. Pero pag hinayaan mo, I guess ikaw na mismo ang gumuhit ng linya na hindi kayo magkaibigan. At hindi ko masisisi si Vice President Sara Duterte kung pakiramdam niya ay ginamit at nagamit lang siya.
Okay. Kayo ba, sir, kaibigan niyo pa si President Marcos?
It's not for me to play.
Okay.
I do not want to sound assuming or presumptuous. But huli namin pag-uusap, wala kaming diferensya ni Pangulong Marcos. At I will leave it at that.
Okay.
And in my advocacy, takpang ng maisog, sure, I'm calling out the many flawed policies of his administration. But ito ay polisiya na hindi kami sang-ayon dahil nga kulang tayo sa transparency, sa accountability, yung peace and security. We were dragged into this imminent, I hope it's not yet imminent, but we were dragged into this potential war with our superpower neighbor China, not because of our own doing or our own liking, but because we allowed our another friend and ally, the United States of America, to bring us to the brink of war.
Attorney Vic, last question na lang po. Pulse Asia placed you at 49 to 68 based on their latest senatorial survey with an awareness of 1%. Siguro po, moving from the filing of COC towards the campaign period, how do you plan to win this race?
I leave my faith to the Filipino people. I have submitted my certificate of candidacy and officially and formally I am now an applicant, your applicant to be a senator. And if you think I am qualified and fit for the job, please do consider me to be your representative to the Senate. And what do? I go around the country, the traditional way of campaigning. Of course, if there is or any other platform or venues like your gracious invitation for me to grace your program now, I will take it.
And maraming salamat po, senatorial aspirant at former Executive Secretary Attorney Vic Rodriguez. Good luck po, sir.